I mean, guys who look actually like Iron Man with the mask off, biker scouts from Star Wars, and every time I see somebody like that, of course, I get the little nerd Terminator head-up display where I start to be like, oh, biker scout, Return of the Jedi, uses this kind of gun. I had that action figure, and I do that for all of them. It makes it really like ADHD to walk around the convention floor. But that also got me thinking that those costumes engage me and engage everybody else around in a kind of weird, porous, like performance space. You know, people who come to the con and put on a costume are creating their own kind of movie around them. They're embodying the character who they portray. I actually saw a guy dressed as a green Power Ranger walk up to a mural being painted only of red Power Rangers, and he was really upset that it was all red instead of green. Like, it was like, dude, you know you're not really the green Power Ranger, right? But of course, he did, but then he didn't. But what's more important about those costumes is that they engage the people around the audience, if you will, in this kind of virtual performance as either willing or maybe unwilling participants in the performance itself. They're not just audience, right? They're also performers. If I see people dressed as Boba Fett, I actually get to feel like or pretend I feel a little bit scared of like a Mandalorian bounty hunter walking around San Diego, even though I know that it's not real. There's no proscenium arch. Performers will talk about performing in the proscenium, the arch over a stage. But that kind of thing doesn't exist here in San Diego, right? Everybody's on the proscenium together. And it's not just in the convention floor. The convention metastasizes, it spreads out around the gas lamp district. Everything gets redressed like the whole city is a set. And of course, cities are always sets. The best cities are prosceniums for the people who walk around and live in them. I know that they have other more important functions, but they're also places for all of us to perform for each other, to be each other's audience all the time. When I was in college, I came home to visit for the summer maybe, and my dad and I went out in LA and went to a bookstore, got a milkshake, whatever, and we walked out onto kind of a balcony looking at the city, and a couple of guys on unicycles rode by in front of us, and it just cracked us up. It reminded us that the city would deliver these kinds of interesting things to look at, and we sort of laughed about that, and then we both turned back out to where we'd seen the unicycles, and this is back when neither my dad was particularly gray nor I, and we both looked a lot alike. And at the same moment, we both took out our clip-on sunglasses and snapped them onto our glasses and looked out over the city, and I realized when we did that that we were part of the show too, that we looked just as funny or ridiculous or interesting or whatever it is that we expect the city to give us to anybody else who was walking by. That's one of the reasons I like Comic-Con, is that all of us here are part of the same performance.